let's make our way down the stairs and check out the locomotive. There you can see it's even got the Lima Stone Company name on the side still. This was a 1925 model, it looks like. Check this out in here. This is a case of Ivory Soap, and that's the same exact soap that I found in Tina Turner's house when I went and vlogged inside there. Now, it's kind of controversial because they used to say that it had satanic logos on it, and that's why they quit using the logo. I actually ended up giving this soap to Dearly Departed Museum, so they have it on display now. And that's the logo that they said people believe that it was satanic. I don't get it. It says Moon and Stars logo. It says one of the world's most recognized logos is Procter & Gamble's Man in the Moon, surrounded by stars. It says an earlier version appeared in 1850s when the company was manufacturing star candles. Over time, the simple design evolved to include 13 stars representing the original 13 colonies. An urban legend developed in the late 20th century claiming that the trademark was a satanic symbol. These persistent and silly rumors were eventually traced to a business competitor. Though the logo appears less frequently today, having been replaced by the contemporary P&G trademark, it remains an artistically admired design. Well, there you go. There's the, so I didn't just make up that story, and now we have the origination from it. Here are a bunch of old telephones. The Princess phone. Switchboards. Long before everything was cell phones. Kind of cool. Now this is the old Liberty truck that was used during the war, and you can see here it's transporting supplies from 1917 to 1919. These were the trucks. They used 5,000 of them. And this jacket was Major General William Blackburn's jacket. Would have been used, it says, he was alive from 1787 to 1858, so he was appointed by President Andrew Jackson as land agent in northwestern Ohio. And here are kinds of old guns and military uniform and supplies. You can see his Civil War hat right there. There's a lot of history in there, including a Civil War outfit with holes all over the jacket and an old drum. And this small little setup shows a Civil War encampment. Two-man encampment. Look how small that would have been. You can see the other guy's feet hanging out the side. Getting some Z's. Now check out this old Red Crown gas station with an original Red Crown gas pump. Standard oil. Oh wow, an old military cannon. And then right here they recreated an old World War II free serviceman's canteen. She would have greeted you coming in, I guess. Well, this looks like a your basic refrigerator, or your basic kitchen minus a refrigerator. Teaches you how to make a bologna sandwich for the servicemen. Wow, look at this old trolley display. Do you see what I see? Look at the ad on the front. Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. That is really cool. That is really cool. I love seeing stuff like that. It's only a portion of it, obviously. Smart how they have it going into the wall, but... Now this is interesting. This says that this is a Buddhist shrine from the one and only Buddhist family in the area. They donated this. It's kind of interesting. That was news to me, with the case saying Cadwallader Jones. Now it says this is a recreation of a prehistoric burial from someone, well, a group they call the Glacial Came, a group of Native Americans who lived in Ohio about 4,000 years ago. The Ohio area has a very, very vast Indian history here. That was primarily, I remember in elementary school, our entire 4th grade year was all focused on Ohio history, pretty much all being that of the Native Americans here. Wow, this place just keeps getting cooler and cooler. They have an iron lung. That's what that is. I've actually never seen one of those in person. That is really interesting. And here's someone using it. Now take a look at this. They have a full-on general store set up. I mean, with everything. This museum, I mean, it's incredible. And it was donation only, so I threw a 5 in the coffer, but they certainly could charge more and should, because this is just an amazing piece of history to get to come and take a look at. Like I said, I kind of heard about this since I was in high school. This place had some really interesting things, but wow, I had no idea. And here's the storefront of the general store. Pretty cool. They even have a loafing bench out front. And that's literally what it's called. My grandpa told me that's what those kind of things are called, and I always laugh, but I didn't realize that's what they were actually called. And then these, of course, most of you know probably that if a store had an Indian like this out front, it meant that they sold tobacco inside. And that's what's in the hand right here. Pile of cigars. Now here's the old barber shop. Anybody up for a shave? And here's a statue of Spartacus. Now this whole section is all about the geology and the fossils that they've found in this area. Take a look at this. It's a fish. These are all minerals that have been found. Wow. So here they have a recreation of John Dillinger's cell. What happened was he and his crew robbed a bank a little outside of the area here in Bluffton, and when they were finally arrested in Dayton, they were transported back to here, and 3 of John Dillinger's 6 crew members came in here disguised as law officials to get him out. And when Sheriff Sarber here asked for their credentials and asked for the paperwork, they pulled out a gun and shot him. Now his wife was also in here as well. She was doing a crossword puzzle. So as Jess Sarver laid on the floor, pretty much dying, they demanded that his wife, who is right up here in this picture, right next to him, above them is their son, and he became the sheriff after his father passed away later that night. Now they had her open up the jail cell door, and they escaped, going on a big crime spree, but like I said, they ended up killing Sheriff Sarber. They had his wife and he go into the jail cell where they locked them up, and later that night Sheriff Sarber died. So because the crew had killed a sheriff, they made John Dillinger the #1 public enemy on the FBI list, and so he was heavily sought after. And when they finally caught him, they brought him back here to Lima for trial, and he and most of his crew escaped again. Yeah, go figure. They were eventually apprehended. Ironically enough, especially for this channel, they were staying at basically like a whorehouse. And the lady who ran the whorehouse, or the brothel, was trying to make a deal because she was going to get deported to Romania. So she tried to make a deal with the FBI saying, I will give you the information to capture him if you will give me $5,000 and stop them from deporting me. So she told them that the plan that evening was for John Dillinger, his girlfriend, and the head of the house, the madam, the Romanian woman, to all go see Clark Gable in Manhattan Melodrama, which I believe was with Myrna Loy and William Powell. So there's like 3 of my favorites right there. And they told the police that John Dillinger's girlfriend would be in an orange dress. Now when they came out of the theater, it looked red apparently under the lights. And so when they went to apprehend him, he had a chance. He kind of figured something was up and he escaped before eventually being apprehended and killed. And then when he was finally killed, they left his body on display for 3 days so that thousands of people could come see it. Isn't that crazy? And then this wall shows all of Dillinger's cohorts. Harry Pierpont, Charles Muckley, Russell Clark, and then there's John Dillinger himself. Now in this case, they have the ledger of when they originally brought John Dillinger in and logged him in for bank robbery. His name is the very first one above that white sheet of paper you can see right there. Now they also have his death mask in here, and the cuffs that he was shackled with, as well as fingerprint proof sent out showing that he was in fact declared dead. Now in this case, they have various artifacts or various things associated, including 3 handwritten notes, one mentioning Dayton and signed by John Dillinger. That very first one, he mentions Dayton right there. And then there's another note written by him, as well as this one. Now here we have this gun and holster belonged to one of the deputies that was a witness to the break-in when they killed Sheriff Sarber. And like I mentioned, his son ended up becoming sheriff afterward, and he avenged his father's death. Now there's Sheriff Sarber, who was killed. That was his active duty weapon. There's a little advertisement for him running for re-election. And then this was his personal Colt revolver. It says it was in the sheriff's desk drawer during the murder, and it was taken by Harry Pierpont and removed from him during his capture in Tucson, Arizona. And it has an original evidence box right there with the date April 21st, 1934 on it. Now this whole situation here with Sheriff Sarber would have happened in 1933. Now this was the hat, and the badge of his son, who was deputy at the time, Deputy Don Sarber, who became sheriff. And there is someone holding a Tommy gun. I believe that is Sheriff Sarber's son, Don, holding a Tommy gun, showing them how they would have kept the other members that they brought back here for trial. They would have basically held that on them the entire time because these guys were well-known flight risks. They knew that if they were in court's custody, there was always a chance they would try and break out, and they always tried to. So there's a little notation here that says a Thompson .45 caliber machine gun used for guarding the Dillinger gang. And there again is the family photo. And then it says this camera was the one used to photograph all three of these men and these photos. Well, as amazing as this place is, I think we've seen it all. Now I want to go outside. I want to show you they have a log cabin on the grounds, and I want to also show you that cornerstone. Hands down, one of the best county museums I've ever been in. Unbelievable. Now this is one of the other entrances, and I'm out here looking for that little stone. Oh, there it is, there it is. That's really cool. I wonder how many people live in this town and don't even know this is here. It's just kind of tucked in there off to the side here on a corner. Literally a cornerstone. Right in between this tree, if you're ever coming out here looking for it. Pretty cool. Now here's that old original log cabin house I was telling you about. The well. Well, let's go in and take a look inside the log cabin. They got it opened up, so. Little crib there. Oh, that's novel. Hanging your high chairs and stuff on the wall when you're not using them. Creating some space, that's a pretty good idea. Huh. And then I guess there's even a second floor. Oh, check this out. Buried beneath this marker is the 1976 Allen County Bicentennial Time Capsule. It will be opened on our nation's tricentennial in the year of 2076 AD. Pretty cool. If anybody's around then, make sure you come out and see what's in there. Now right over here by this old house, this is also part of the museum. It's a little children's section. I just thought it was whimsical enough for us to go explore it a little bit. I noticed it when I came in. I just said, you know what, I'll save that for the end. That's pretty cool. Kind of a fun way to end it. It's called Gumball Alley. We're going in reverse, but whoopsie. I guess we were supposed to probably end with this side, but I think we'll be okay. Now let's take the little road here across the piano keys, kind of like in Big. Bloom, 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 bloom. Little hopscotching. There's some dominoes back here on the ground. Little mosaics. Got an oil derrick over here. Pretty cool place, huh? What a museum. There's a Lincoln Highway marker. See that face up there in the tree? As well as that really cool old birdhouse. Let's go see what this kid's doing over here. Is that like a firefly? That's Andy. Snow White. Oh, what a cool tree. Well, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see this historic museum. What a place. Now let's go back and see Jaw before we end this vlog. I know you guys want to see him. Yeah, Jaw's off hanging out with his papaw right now. Goodbye, trolls. Gnomes, trolls, mushrooms. All right, Lima, we're out of here. See you next time. There's the Neil Armstrong Air and Space Museum. We went there last month, so if you want to see that, go look up Neil Armstrong on my channel. Yeah, we couldn't end the vlog until everybody gets to see this guy. Hanging out with Papa all day. Did you have a good time? Thanks.